I see the recording button.
Yep. So we're good to go. Perfect. So we have Wanda Bowser with us today, joining us to kind of give us her insights from participating in the coaching and early intervention, training and mentorship program. So Wanda, tell us a little bit about yourself, your discipline, how long you've been providing early intervention services.
Sure. Again, I am Wanda Bowser, and I have been a speech language pathologist for going on 7 years. I primarily work in the school system, and so the first 5 years of my career, I was in elementary school, and then this past 2 years, I've been in middle school and high school. So I do early intervention on the side, and I've done early intervention since 2016, so about 3 years. So it gives me a really good break from my school-age kids, especially now that I'm working with the 12 to 18-year-old set, and then I get to go and play with my babies and toddlers. So I get a good mix. I'm kind of all over the spectrum, but I love what I do. And early intervention, been doing it for the past 3 years.
Awesome. And you were in our second cohort.
Yes,
so
I was in the second cohort, so I'm a pioneer.
I was going to say, really a pioneer. We've said often at meetings at a state level and with constituent groups that the first and second cohorts, deserve gold stars for, charting the course for us and being pioneers. Your feedback really helped shape the program and change from where it was then to where we've evolved to now. So Thank you for that. So it's great to have you on with us today to share, just reflect for a moment and let us know how manageable, even back then the program was to complete, and any strategies that worked for you, part-time provider, what helped you get through the curriculum and the program?
Okay, sure. Initially, when I was told you were going to be doing this, I have to admit I wasn't super thrilled about it because, again, I do this part-time. And so I was thinking, well, I know how to do speech therapy, so I don't know what else they want me to do different. Yeah. Why am I being signed up for this? But I did appreciate that they did know that I did work in the school system, and so they did try to make sure that my cohort started in the summertime so that the meetings where we had to meet face-to-face, we could meet face-to-face. Any of the Zoom meetings that we had, Zoom helped a whole lot, meeting just kind of online and chatting. So those things helped being at the school full-time, but then having to do this also on the side. Definitely our coaches tried to make it doable for us. As far as the actual bulk of the work, it was manageable, but you definitely have to be a person that is on top of your schedule, organizational-wise, because there was, for us, anyway, I don't know what the program is like now. I don't want to do it again. For us in cohort 2, there were meetings that we had to remember to do. There were videos where I had to video myself with the family, and then I had to upload it, and then I had to give myself feedback. I had to give feedback to other providers, on what I saw them doing. And so all that, it does take time. It's not something that it could take 5-10 minutes and you're done with it for a week. There was definitely effort spent on the program, but I made it work. But I think if you're somebody that is used to being busy and is good with time management and is fairly flexible, it's definitely doable.
Great. So now that you've completed the program, how have your interactions with children, families, how have those changed in your early intervention services now that you've completed the program?
Well, long story short, I will say they've definitely gotten better. So if anybody's going through the program right now and they're just kind of like, what is the point? I will say my therapy has gotten so much better. Like I said, initially, I did not want to do this. I wasn't super thrilled about doing it. But now that it's kind of over and time has passed and I'm in the maintenance stage, I can definitely see a big difference. For example, when I first started with First Steps back in 2016, what my therapy usually looked like was I would go into the family's home, and for an hour I was playing with their child. And parents were at home, but they may be working with another child. They may be sitting on, to be honest, sitting on their phone, looking at Facebook. They may be cooking dinner. And if the child had a low attention span and they're running around the house, I may call the parent, hey, can you come and get them? I don't want to be walking in your bedroom. or if they're having a fit or getting upset, I may ask. I feel like all the pressure was on me. Like, this child doesn't like me. I have to calm this child down. Their mom is expecting me to do therapy with them while she's busy. So that's definitely what it looked like. It was very much a private practice kind of model, except I was in the family's home and I was using as best as I could the materials that the family had. So now, fast forward to going through the program and being done with it and using the coaching strategies, I have found that I have much, much more family involvement. Now, whenever we're doing therapy together, it's a we thing. It's a team. I feel like I'm actually on a team with the parent. And it makes a lot more sense to me to ask the parent, what are your concerns this week? Or what challenges have you faced this week? What progress have you seen? What successes have you faced this week? Where before, that much communication between myself and the parents weren't happening. Usually, in the past, like I said, I would play with the child or do therapy with the child with play therapy. And then at the end of the session, I would explain to the parents, well, this is what we did. This is what I saw them doing. Do you have any questions? All right, I'll see you guys next week. Now, all throughout the session, we're talking, hey, did you see when he did that? This is what this means. Or if I'm modeling a strategy right then and there, I'm explaining to the parent, this is what I'm doing. This is why it works. Would you like to try it? Do you think this is something that you could do when I'm not here? And it makes so much more sense for me to see if they can do it or if they even feel comfortable doing it, because I'm only there for an hour. Sometimes I'm only there for an hour every other week. And I want for parents to feel comfortable doing the things that I'm not just telling them, we've seen it. I know they can do it because I've seen them do it. And I've got a couple of success stories, actually. I had a parent, and when I initially started with them, one of our first couple sessions, I'm explaining to her why it works to sing nursery rhymes and to be silly and make, why I'm acting like a clown. And she says to me, I don't do children's songs. Like, we don't sing that. I'm not really interested in that. And so every session, we talk, I bring it up, I'm trying to calm her, it's okay. It's just your child. You can be silly with your child. And so over time, we're getting to know each other. She's getting more comfortable. And one day we're having a session and we're talking, and she says, Wanda, when we first started and you told me to sing nursery rhymes, I was just like, no, that is silly. I'm not going to do that. And she's like, but now that I'm comfortable and I'm doing it, I can see how he has progressed so much more. And she's like, and honestly, nobody has ever really sat and told me this is what you should do and this is why you should do it. I just kind of watch what other people do, but I've never really been involved. So she was like, I feel more comfortable being involved now. And so that really made me tear. I was like, you made me cry. But it makes me feel good that parents have they're feeling, more confident, more comfortable doing the skills that I have presented to them. And so, like I said, although initially I didn't want to do this, I'm very happy that I did do this because I can see how it is working so much better. And I enjoy getting to know the families more too, because you hear stories and things that you really never would have unless you ask. And I think a lot of times maybe we don't ask. We just go in, do the therapy. All right, well, I'll see you guys later, versus really getting that good connection and interaction with them. So yeah, it's been pretty cool.
And you think about the carryover of that then, for that mom singing nursery rhymes.
Oh, most definitely.
She's probably doing that all week. Hopefully that's right. The goal. And
well, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, it's good.
I get really excited when I'm in the home and we are playing, with the child together, and then the parent and I say the same thing. Because, we'll make the same noise, or we'll say, oh, it's you, what do you, and they're asking the questions that I would have asked. or they say something. I was like, I was just about to say that. I was like, see, you don't need me anymore because you're doing everything that I'm already doing. So that's pretty cool when they really start to get it, and I'm just kind of there watching.
Yeah, you're coaching them. That's the really the beauty of it. The family is starting to take some ownership and really driving this early intervention train, as we like to say. So good stuff. So what would you perceive as the primary benefit of the program, or primary benefit to you that resulted from participating?
I think the primary benefit overall is seeing the children progress. I mean, that's why we do this, is because we want, these kids to meet their goals or to get closer to these objectives that we set out for them. And again, it makes a lot more sense if the parent is invested and involved, and we are teaching them, this is what you can do. These are the strategies. Here's why it makes sense. Sometimes that's all people need, is somebody to explain to them, like that mom. Nobody ever told me this. So for somebody to explain, here are the ways that you can help your child. I will hold your hand while we figure it out. And then once you figured it out, you can kind of feel a little bit more confident to kind of like fly and do these things without me being right here. So that I perceive as the greatest benefit, is definitely seeing the progress that the kids make, and really seeing the progress that the families make. Families being more open to go out in public and talk to their kids while grocery shopping, to pull back on just here's the tablet or here's the phone or just cut on the TV. But seeing them play with their child, a lot of times people don't play with their kids. Just being silly and getting down there and making noises. So just seeing the family interactions that are being made, that really makes me happy for them. So I definitely see those as clear benefits. In regards to me, the main benefit that I have seen is that because it feels more like a team effort, I don't put so much pressure on myself that I have to be the one to fix this child. It's kind of like, no, we're all in this together. We are all going to work for the benefit of this child's progress, not, Miss Wanda's here to play with you, and in 6 months' time, she's going to fix you. It's not going to work like that.
That's a lot of pressure.
So it helps me to keep that in mind too. Like, I need these parents to be in this with me if we are going to see things improve. So that's been a really good perk for myself personally.
Yeah, and I think that we talked really early on about movement along a continuum from a consultative model where the therapist is the expert, and try to move that closer to this collaborative relationship between provider and family. And I've heard you say "we" in your last answer about 30 times, which is
it's definitely
totally totally that movement to a coaching practice. So
almost. Well, I am the expert on speech and language. They are the expert on their child. And so I give them the information I have based on the information they have about their baby. And that's how we work together. And I really like it. I really do enjoy that. I feel like I'm building connections with these families. And I've had a child, he exited the program because he had made so much progress that he didn't need speech anymore. And mom, she invited myself and after the plan was done and we were done, she invited myself and my family over for dinner. She cooked dinner for us. And she was like, I'm going to be sad that you're not coming every other week, because you really feel like part of the family, because we had built that much of a bond. So that was awesome.
That linkage is great, and the families, I think we've heard, we hear early on, well, I have families who don't want to be engaged or who are not engaged. And I love to hear that level of engagement and parent-child interaction with you as the provider of early intervention really has helped facilitate progress for the child, because we know that we are in there an hour a week and then we go away, and that family is the constant. So
right. And not to paint it all roses, I do have families that are just, they would rather, I'm asking questions, I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess it's just like, and I have to remind them, I've gotten a little more bold to say, I am here for you all. We are a team. I need you to be part of the team. So, I need you to help me so that we can help your child, because I don't know what he's done all week long, but you do. So, I let parents know up front when we first start, for the hour that I'm here, I'm asking you to cut off the TV, put your phone away. I need you to be in here. So,
And I think sometimes
if nothing else, I need you to at least be looking at what we're doing. So that's helped a lot too.
Yeah, I think we sometimes then rely on our coaching questions then too, and that may gauge us to ask, or prompt us to ask that provocative question of the family, using a coaching question, why are you not able to hang with us here and give us the feedback? And so I think that those coaching practices that we're learning to help parent-child and interaction and to coach peers, we can really use as well to keep things moving forward. So I totally appreciate your time. I know how busy things are. School system therapist, first steps on the side. Sounds like you have a family as well. So I totally appreciate you taking the time this afternoon to help, kind of help us get some messaging out there about the program and perceived benefits from someone who's had the lived experience. So I appreciate it.
Again, thank you for having me. And I hope, it helps somebody if they're in the, the trenches and they're just kind of like, I don't know about this. Like it really is worth it. It may not seem like it today, or maybe like, I got to record another session and I don't want to, but ultimately it really is helpful. So I am glad to have gone through it. I'm glad to be done. Glad to have gone through it.
Awesome. So good.
All right,
Thank you.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Take care.